Should humans stay completely out of the loop and just write code with AI without ever looking at the code? Or should we be in the loop, inspecting every single line of code an agent generates? Well, I think this is a false choice, and getting it wrong will either make you a bottleneck or make your system an unmaintainable mess. The best place for a developer isn't just writing code or simply stating a goal. It is architecting the system that enables AI to build effectively. So in this video, we are gonna cover first the hidden cost of the out-of-the-loop or bytecoding approach. Second, why being in the loop makes you a bottleneck. And third, how to move on the loop to become a force multiplier for AI. And by the end of the video, you will have a clear framework for using AI to build better software faster without becoming a micromanager. So let's dive in. Let me start with the out-of-the-loop trap, or the pure bytecoding approach. To understand why this is a trap, we must separate two concepts, the why loop and the how loop. The why loop is turning the idea into a desired outcome. I strongly believe that for the time being, we are humans and we will still be in the control of this. The how loop, on the other hand, is the messy process that builds software, writing code, running tests, and creating the infrastructure. In the out-of-the-loop model, you stay in the why loop, defining the goal, while the AI agent is responsible for the entire how loop. The appeal is obvious. Why not just tell the machine what you want and let it figure it out how to build it? And if you don't like the result, you just tweak the prompt and it tries again. And this is what I do these days. Actually, I ask Cloud Code to implement infrastructure or a feature, and sometimes it doesn't work the first time, but I copy the log and give it as context, and then I ask it to fix the issue, and it actually does most of the time. So basically, you should care about external quality, what the user experiences are. Does the software work, or it is fast, it is secure? These are the kind of questions that you must focus on. Who cares if the code is clean if an AI wrote it, right? Well, does a variable name matter if an AI can figure it out? This is the kind of questions that are completely changing our industry right now. But here's the problem. We care about internal quality the moment it impacts external quality. In theory, an AI agent could produce a tangled mess of spaghetti code and eventually deliver a working system. In practice, however, that process is incredibly slow and expensive. In my experience, a well-structured code base means the AI works faster, gets stuck way less, and uses fewer tokens, which save money in the end. So if you build while being completely out of the loop, there is a big risk of degrading internal quality, and having bad internal quality creates friction, costing time and compute. Leaving the agent to run the how loop alone is a trap, trading short-term convenience for long-term fragility and cost. So if your out of the loop is a trap, the obvious alternative is getting it in the loop. Here, the developer is the gatekeeper, manually inspecting every line of code the AI generates. If the agent generates buggy code, your human experience allows you to spot it and fix it in seconds, and this ensures high internal quality. But it creates a new bigger problem. You become the bottleneck now. Why? Well, because AI generates code faster than any human can verify it. productivity gains are lost in the time you spend reviewing the code. And this is a classic shift left thinking. We used to throw code over the wall to a QA team back in the days, which was slow and inefficient. We learned it was faster and more reliable for developers to write and run their own tests as they work. We build quality into the process rather than inspecting for it at the end. I think we must do the same thing for AI agents these days. An agent produces better code when it can measure its own quality, rather than rely on you to be the checker. So our job now as developers is not to inspect every output. It is to give the agent the guidance and tools it needs to produce better code outputs on its own. This brings us to the most effective model, not out of the loop or in the loop. Instead, we can be on the loop. Let me explain. Here, your focus shifts from managing artifacts to managing the whole process. You architect the how loop, but let the agent run inside it. The collection of specifications, quality checks, and workflow guidance that controls the agent is its harness. As I explained it in a previous video, I will lay you the link down in the description down below, so go check it. So your job is to practice harness engineering. For example, when you are on the loop and see a bad output, you improve the harness. You don't just fix the bug. You ask, why did the process produce this bug? And these kind of things. Maybe the problem was ambiguous. Maybe the testing stage needs a new failure scenario. Maybe the agent needs a better example of a good output. You improve the system so that the entire classes of errors don't happen again. And this is the highest leverage role for a senior developer nowadays, in my opinion. You apply your judgment not to individual lines of code, but to the design of the development system itself. You are building a machine that builds the machine. And once you have mastered building the harness, you can take it to the next level, creating a self-improving system, what some people call nowadays the Agentic Flywheel. Here, you direct agents to improve their own harness by giving them signal to evaluate the entire loop performance. For example, you can feed it with data from your CI/CD pipeline, you can feed it with operational data from production, or you can feed it with the user's journey logs across your system, or even with business metrics. As I say all the time, context is what actually makes agents better. With the right context, the agent can analyze its own workflow. It can review the result of a process step and recommend improvements to its own harness. For example, it might notice that its code frequently fails and during a specific performance test. It could then recommend an improvement to an upstream prompt to generate more efficient code from the start. For instance, it might generate a diff suggesting a change to its own prompt template to be more specific about database queries optimization, ensuring future code doesn't repeat the same performance bug. With this approach, what you have now is a harness that generates recommendations for improving itself. You start by reviewing these recommendations interactively. As you gain confidence, you can allow the agent to automatically apply changes that meet a certain quality score. This creates a self-improving system guided by your own experience. It is not just about getting a one-off solution. It is about building a reliable software system that continuously gets better at creating the outcome you want. So the debate is not about vibe coding versus micromanaging anymore. That's a false dichotomy. The real question is where you should apply your human taste and engineering instinct. You can stay out of the loop and get it fast but fragile results. You can get it in the loop and ensure quality, but slowing everything down and sooner or later becoming a bottleneck. Or you can move on the loop, shifting from artifacts reviewer to process architect. You can use your experience to build a harness that empowers AI agents to work effectively, scalably, and with high quality. That could be the future of software development. It is a role with more leverage, more impact, and frankly, it is more interesting because we are gonna be closer actually to the problem that we are trying to solve. So, how you can train on this? Well, start by finding one manual repetitive task in your coding workflow. Instead of just doing it, try to write a detailed prompt that would instruct an AI to do it for you. You can iterate on that prompt until the output is right. And that instruction set, that is your first micro harness. Mastering harness engineer is the next frontier. And I will be covering more specific techniques in the future videos about this. So make sure you like and subscribe to the channel if you like this video. And that's all for today. See you in the next one. Bye.